Now, let's talk about earnings. And Union Bank had come out with their earnings. Just a snapshot of the earnings. The NII was lower by about 4% on a year-on-year basis. The bank also saw fresh slippages of around 3,090 crore versus 3,275 crore rupees. The gross NPA was at around 15.18% versus 14.18% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. And to talk more on the earnings, we are joined by Rajkiran who is the MD and CEO of Union Bank. Good morning, Mr. Rai. Thank you for joining us on the show. Your Q1 has been a mixed for the Q1 entirely has been mixed for the entire banking sector with increased frequency of stressed asset and rising borrowing costs. What, in your opinion, were the highlights for the Union Bank this quarter?
Yeah, it was as you rightly said, the first quarter was more of a consolidating quarter. Generally, the first quarter for banking industry is always a bit moderate. So our growth was also very moderate in the first quarter. But then the profitability was very good. So we made a net profit of 225 crores. The gross NPAs and net NPAs have moved a bit on the upward side. But then I think the absolute numbers, if you look at, there are not much damage. So the slippages have been a bit high, particularly from the agriculture and MSME sector in the first quarter. And particularly in the MSME sector, it is coming because the end of the forbearance cycle which Reserve Bank had permitted. So we took that hit in this quarter. So going forward, I feel that the growth numbers will improve substantially, and the profitability also will improve, particularly with the support from the Treasury. So I'm very positive on the coming quarters.
Your NPAs also saw a rise in this quarter, in quarter one, as in the case of many banks as well. But could you tell us about the overall asset quality as well as the slippages for Union Bank?
We are not seeing much stress in the corporate sector, even though it is being talked about, except the 2-3 accounts which are being discussed. So which are the company specific issues. So the stress in the agriculture and MSME is almost getting recognized. So, but then we need to look at the positive side of it. In our bank, at least more than 5,000 crores which are in NCLT are very, very close to resolution, which can bring down my gross NPA by more than 5,000 crores. So I think we need to look at the positive side, and I am very sure these major resolutions of NCLT will happen in this Q2 and maybe by Q3. So that will give a very positive push for the industry, because the NPAs will come down substantially and the profitability will go up because the write backs will be also there.
Let's talk about your NII for Q1. It was slightly compressed when you look at it on a year-on-year basis. So what was the primary cause or other causes for this? And what is your outlook for the going ahead for FY20?
NII, we are very positive. Actually, we are stable between 2,500 to 2,600 crores per quarter. So last quarter, actually, we had a lower CD ratio. If you see, our investment book went up by more than 15,000 crores because we could not park on the advances side. So naturally, it lower CD ratio and lower interest income. So that was specific to first quarter. So second quarter already we are balancing that. We are moving to higher CD ratio. I'm very sure the net interest income will move up in this quarter.
Let's talk about the loan growth. Wanted to know, what are you exactly targeting for loan growth, as in what kind of loans? And also, what is the trajectory for the NIMs as well as the margins for Union Bank?
Yeah, our guidance on the NIM is 2.4. Even though we were around 2.17 in the first quarter, it will move up. Going forward, actually, there are few areas, particularly on the corporate side, it will be infra, particularly the roads, particularly HAM projects, oil and gas, particularly city distribution, some on the renewable. These are the main things which are coming from the corporate side. Retail, we are growing at around 15.6%. We are aiming to grow beyond 20% now in the Q2, Q3. So MSME growth is stable around 4-5%. It will also look up now. So I think most of the state governments where the debt relief was announced on the agriculture side, they're also like closing those issues. So we will also see some traction on the agriculture side once these debt relief issues are over. So overall, it will be a very balanced growth. The RAM sector, our portion is about 56%. So going forward, we would like to maintain 56 to 57% on the RAM side. And the corporate side, actually, yes, there are some signals that it was slowing down in the first quarter, but infra push is there, so I think we should be able to grow in the double digits.
Lastly, Mr. Rai, on the capital front, is the bank sufficiently capitalized, and do you have any plans to raise capital in the near future?
Yes, actually, like after the Q2 results, we are planning to raise most probably some QIP between 2 to 3,000 crores. We need this capital. So, but anyway, it will depend on the market conditions. So, but then we have definite plans.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Rai, for joining us, giving us your take on your Q1 numbers for the Union Bank. That was the management of the Union Bank taking us to the numbers, definitely saying they plan to raise about 2,000 to 3,000 crore rupees, maybe via QIP post Q2 numbers, but they're yet to decide on that.